suddenly realized that the worst student in his class might actually be a long-distance running prodigy. He had been following the boy by car for 10 whole minutes. The speedometer showed 12 miles per hour, yet the boy never slowed down. That left him a little stunned. Curious to see how far the kid could go, he kept driving behind him until the boy finally noticed.
Why are you following me?
You know how fast you were going?
What are you, a cop?
Can I give you a lift?
No. Jim, quit following me.
As he watched the boy walk away, Jim fell into deep thought. The kid he just saw might really be something special. Back home, Jim started digging through old records. He compared times from previous state competitions, and the results shocked him. At that pace, the boy could easily rank among the top 10 runners in the entire state. And that's without proper running shoes. With the right gear, he might even be a champion. Jim felt like he had just discovered buried treasure. As a PE teacher and coach, finding a champion could change everything for him. His reputation, his pay, even his entire life. He could finally leave this small, forgotten town. This was McFarland, one of the poorest places in California. The only reason Jim ended up here was because he had no other choice. He used to be a promising coach, but after accidentally injuring a player during a game, he was fired and labeled as hot-tempered. No school wanted him anymore. Desperate for a job, he moved his entire family to this dusty little town. They were used to city life, so everyone struggled to adjust. There wasn't even a proper restaurant around. Not a single place selling burgers, just tacos and burritos. Crime was bad, and Jim never felt safe. He hated everything about this place and wanted to leave that very day, but no other school would take him, so he had no choice but to stay and teach here. On his first day, he discovered just how undisciplined the students were when there was no funding. That didn't stop Jim.
California public school system pre-approved 6 new sports a few years ago to get funding for new lockers, including, guess what? Cross country.
The principal finally agreed. Now that the team was approved, Jim needed runners. In class, he set up a small race. The top 4 would each get a sports drink. The students jumped at the chance. After the run, Jim picked the best finishers and invited them to join his team. The first to say yes was Johnny, who already loved running. With Johnny's help, Jim quickly recruited 7 runners in total. Of course, Thomas was one of them. Training began, but every time Jim tried running with them, he was out of breath halfway through. 4 kids who ran to school every day. Though, this was nothing. They finished the drills easily. Watching them gulp down free tap water after training, Jim felt a pang of guilt. None of them even owned real running shoes. He said nothing, but he was deeply moved. To test their true ability, he soon registered them for a local race and bought them new uniforms and shoes. The boys were thrilled and full of confidence, but cross-country was a team sport. Scores were based on placement. 1 point for first, 2 for second, and so on. Only the top 5 runners from each team counted, and the lowest total score won. Before the race, other schools laughed at them. They came from McFarland, the poorest town around. The boys felt humiliated, but also determined to prove themselves. When the race started, Thomas ran among the top 3. Others were doing fine too. On flat ground, Thomas was unbeatable. But when the hills came, his pace dropped fast, one after another. Runners passed him. By the time he reached the finish line, he was outside the top 10. Their team came in last. Still, Jim took full responsibility. He blamed himself for not